Can I start?
We're a little early, probably about 2 more minutes
okay.
before we start. So
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
that a lot of times we want to make sure we just start recording so we don't forget.
Okay.
And then we'll trim it in the after production.
Okay, no problem. I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Slide looks great. I can see the slide. So your volume sounds good. So
I also I prepared my presentation yesterday.
yeah.
I hope you like.
Thank you to everyone that has shown up. We are going to be starting in about another minute, so thanks for being here early. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you get started, and if anybody else shows up, we'll just admit them into the room, okay? I believe we can go ahead and get started if you would like, and I will let people in as they show in the waiting room, okay?
Okay. Can I start?
Yes,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Merve Caliskan. I'm from Turkey. Before I begin, I would like to thank the Learning Consortium of Colorado for this opportunity. And also, I would like to thank all of you being today. I am an associate professor in Islamic science in Turkey. I came to US for my postdoctoral project. I have been living in Indiana almost 6 months. And also, English is not my first language. I have been speaking English for 6 months. So thank you for understanding. My title is Transformation of Religious and Ethical Concepts through Digital Platforms and AI-Enabled Translation Systems. First of all, I would like to talk a little about my major. As I said before, my department is Islamic science, but my main major is tafsir. Well, what does tafsir mean actually? In general, tafsir means Quranic exegesis, and also the Quran is Muslims' holy book. In this area, we study both understanding the Quran and how the Quran was understood throughout. In doing so, we use various methodologies and research, particularly classical ones. These are very important, but I think it is not sufficient to understanding the Quran. I think we need more. What do I mean more? Now I will detail this subject a little bit, and we will see. Like I said before, the holy book of Muslims is the Quran. Whether you believe in it or not, it is not important. Whether you are Muslim or not, it doesn't matter. I will not advocate for religion. What I really want to do is provide general information about the Quran studying. According to the Muslim belief, the revelation of the Quran was completed 23 years. And also after the Quran revealed, 15 centuries have passed. It is really long history. So we have to consider this. From different countries, different people belong different religious, culture, society, want to understand the Quran, what the Quran is saying to us. Even if people belong to same society, culture, or religion, they can differ from one another in terms of their characteristic. We are different from each other. Even if we have or same family, we are different as a characteristic. In addition to this information, maybe we can just talk about culture or language for hours. For example, cultural diversity has allowed the Quran to be understood in different ways, and also language bears traces of its society. So these are important. Moreover, with the rapid advancement of technology, elements like language and culture have evolved into entirely new dimension. So, when we think for these reasons, if we understand the Quran of the process of understanding the Quran, what does Quran says today? We must consider culture, language, society, etc. To do this, before I said, we need more. Some disciplines like sociology, psychology, anthropology, even technology, maybe mathematics might be important for understanding the Quran. Because I believe these aspects so important, I also graduated from sociology department, and later I focused on anthropology in addition to my major. And now I came here. I'm still working on these issues. After this general information, I can talk about my topic in this study here. First of all, the Quran was revealed as an address, as a not as a book, as a word maybe. And then the word is written by the people. Was this revelation written directly or was it changed? I will not go into discussion on this subject. There are so many discussions about this issue. However, there is an important point in here. Even if we assume it was written without any changes, the original text of the verse cannot fully captured in the text. In addition, factors such as people, time, change are effective in different understanding the words. Each of these is a subject of another research maybe. Here I will focus only on the impact of technological change on meaning. And also I would like to say that this presentation provides a preliminary draft of ongoing observational study. For that reason, I will be content with given general data. Actually, still, I'm working on this issue. I will just give some examples to understand the issue. And maybe your addition, your explanation, your question, my study will be better. I hope so. The Quran consists of concepts, main concepts maybe. So I want to ask these questions. Does everyone give the same meaning to the same concept? Or is the meaning the same even if the same meaning is given? I don't think so. For example, everyone can define the word justice or the word of culture differently. Another example, summer, for someone living in Brazil or Egypt, will not have the same meaning as for someone living in Russia. For example, when you say, my favorite season is summer, it is very understandable sentences, but you cannot understand actually same way because of you are living different countries. In that case, many factors such as society, people, and time can cause the meaning of the word to change or lose. Considering all this, the aim of this study to discuss how Quranic concepts are used or translated in digital environments and artificial intelligence supported translation systems. This subject isn't suitable for analysis here in a limited time. Therefore, attention will be drawn to the current importance of the subject. In short, the study aims to understand how digital environments and AI-supported translated tools shape and reframe religious and moral concepts in the public area. Before I said I'm still working on this topic, and I think it will be better with your contribution. I think this issue is so important because as a result of technological advancement, a new language or means of speech has emerged. One way of communication is through social media. So in addition to this, people use artificial intelligence supported translation to translate language they do not know. Therefore, this frequently used language should be considered. How people use these concepts or what results their preferred translation tools produce will give us clues about the perception of the time. In addition to this, how religious concepts are perceived in today's digital world affects not only individual beliefs, but also social communication styles. To achieve these goals, I determined two separate groups of concepts, religious and moral concepts, because in the Quran there are so many main concepts actually, and the study should be limited, so I choose one of them. While determining and choosing the concepts, I tried to choose from those that are frequently used and may have changed in the meaning. Firstly, the context of, in the study, use of this concept in the Quran will be given. The selected concepts are here. Religious concept like halal is generally means what is religiously permissible. Haram, another word, means what is religiously prohibited. It is opposite of the halal. Sin means actions and behaviors that are contrary to divine orders and prohibitions. Sawab means behaviors that require rewarded. These are religious concepts. Moral concepts like justice, cleanliness, trust, honesty. I use two main tools to explore these concepts, to understand this concept. These are social media platforms such as Instagram, X, Twitter, and translation tools such as Google Translate, ChatGPT, and Deeply, maybe, as a methodology. When all examples of the study are examined, it is expected to achieve the following goals. Now, I will work on it. I have been working on it. To provide examples of how religious and ethical concepts are presented on social media platforms such as Instagram and X, to create discussion shaped in digital environment, and also to be able to analyze the differences in perception of the religion and ethical values encountered on these platforms, and to offer views on how digital media transform these concepts. And also I want to say to explore how translation can shift meaning in cultural and religion contexts by discussing how AI-powered translation systems such as Google Translate, ChatGPT, and Deeply translate religious and cultural concept, ethical or to compare how different translation systems handle the same concept differently. To share thoughts on the limitation and opportunity of digital translation tools. I started with halal from these words. I will just talk about these words because limited time, and also I have been working still. Now I will use these words as an example. The word halal used almost 50 times in the Quran. In these words, the word is used both literally and the terminological sense. The meaning in which the word halal is used in the Quran to untie, to come out of ihram, to get down, to go out, to be permissible and free, to make lawful, like that. In generally, Islamic generation is usually defined these words, what Allah has permitted and permitted in his book. Actually, although the concept of halal in the Quran is generally used context related to food and drink, it has also been used in areas such as trade, marriage, in social relations. It is stated in the Quran that the authority to make haram and halal belongs only to Allah. It is the important one. In addition, it is generally used to verses for issues such as eating, what is halal, to halal nature of shopping, some issues regarding divorced women not being halal, women are suitable for marriage, and clean things. But when we look at the text, Instagram hashtag or maybe related the word of halal on Instagram and X, links such as halal food with hashtag, halal earnings, halal love, halal cosmetics, halal vacation homes stand out, like that. In this post, people use this hashtag both to advertise their own products, like hotels, cosmetics, to increase the interaction of the post with religious content, and to somehow emphasize that product is not halal because of ingredient it contains, like that. It was also used, ironically, criticize some behaviors of Muslims under the name of halal. This is also another point. And there is a study by Qatar Computing Research Institute has revealed that the word halal on Instagram is now used not only a religious term, but also as a lifestyle statement. Halal is often associated with healthy living, organic products. There is no information about in the past, but people are using this, and ethical conceptions. It also been associated with topics such as fashion, fitness, and lifestyle. These words also which usually associate with topics such as food and hotels, like I said, also has been observed in non-Muslim countries such as Japan, Thailand, which are permanent as halal tourism destination. Although when we look at the Quran, is not generally defined the word of haram. Halal is not defined in the Quran, but the word haram, which has the opposite meaning, is used. Based on this information, Islamic studies have determined what is halal by starting from what is haram. Actually, when we look at the Quran, there is no information about what is halal, but people, the Islamic workers, know what is the haram meaning, so they are using to find halal using haram. It's a little bit confusing. When we look at the haram in the Quran, things that are prohibited with the word dead animals, blood, pork, animals slaughtered in the name of something other than Allah. This is important definition because people usually prefer this definition to buy food. And also they wanna trust the shopping center maybe. But I don't know how they can understand which one is halal or not. Just using or looking the label. Anyway, died by being caught and were torn apart by predatory animals like that. While there are many issues here, the concept of halal has come to the fore, especially in the labels in the commercial sector and social media. Let's now look at the AI-based translation system handle the same concepts. When I typed halal to Google Translate, it translates as a permissible or allowed, which is technically correct, but lack religious nuance. When we look at it deeply, sometimes doesn't define the term, just giving halal. How can we understand this word? Just halal. Of course, ChatGPT often provides broader definitions such as approved under Islamic law, although this terminology may not directly appear in the Quran itself. Here we see AI using some Islamic sources other than the Quran as references, because in the Quran we don't have, you cannot have this information. We can understand from this information these systems might miss cultural and religion sensitivity or reduce complex concept to simplify definition. That is why translation tools must be used critically, especially in interfaith or intercultural communication. So what do we understand from these observations? Before I explain this, I want to say about my postdoctoral project. It is also related with the Quranic words maruf. Maruf is both goodness, wellness in the Quran, but after some political, maybe economic debates, the word started used as Islam. What is Islam command people? And then the Quran verses started to translate like, especially it must be command goodness. Now it is translated like command Islam. These are totally different because of political effects. So I was thinking that these are so important. If we understand the, we have to consider technological improvement or social or political issues in here. So I think that maybe after my post-project research, I can study on technologic effects on the chronic words. So I decided to write this proposal. This is just draft maybe. Now I'm working. Maybe I will find another information. But I think this social media tools or translator system is really important because it's give us the people understanding. Anyway, I will continue. Just I want to say these things about my background. So what do we understand from this, or what should we understand this observation? First of all, religious and ethical concepts are not fixed. Their meanings change based on culture, context, time, and platform. And also AI tools and social media both reflect and reshape meaning. Technology does not only transmit meaning, it transforms it. This information invites us to ask maybe, can we still use these concepts to communicate shared values? Or how can educators, translators, and digital users be more aware of these changes? In conclusion, digital platforms and AI systems became a new interpreters of religious and ethical language because in these examples, these are used for both Muslims guests, which food is halal, commercial interest, and satire. Therefore, researchers must observe not only the content, but also the process of meaning making. And also, technology, before I said, does not only transmit meaning, it transforms it. To understand how the Quran is interpreted today, we need to expand our toolkit beyond traditional methods. These are basic and provable findings. More general and satisfactory results are expected upon completion. This is my research. We will see. And also, finally, I want to thank you. Your feedback, experience, and questions, I think will be help ongoing research to grow in new direction. Thank you again for listening. Now I would like to hear any question or thoughts you may have on this topic.
I was going to say thank you. Some of us here are learning designers, and we're doing learning design in languages other than English. And we're finding that the AI is not as helpful as we would like it to be. And pretty much at my college, if someone says that, oh, well, I'm going to just use AI to translate it, we go, no, wait, we need to bring in a learning designer to go through it.
Yeah.
And no, you using AI or Google Translate, it's not enough.
Of course. And also, I think traditional methods is not enough to understand. Maybe we have to work together. So, my major is social disciplines. Especially in my country, the people not encourage themselves to make research about technology. So when I look at this conference, I really excited about that because I think that we have to go for. So why not? Why we don't use these tools as our research? In my country, still they have little bit offensive, maybe this kind of things. So I really appreciate you give me that opportunities. Because now, after that, my whole academic life, I really want to improve myself, both traditional methodology and also a new methodology. So I am here and I'm really happy to be here also. And I'm really thank you. You are listening my presentation. Maybe this is not look like related with uh, a learning consortium, maybe. But I'm really appreciate you are being here. So it's very important for me. I know this is a little step for me. Now I am learning. Maybe I am taking some classes about AI systems, or I'm joining attend different conference to learn to improve myself. So to be here today is so important for me. Thank you.
And I was going to say, and anybody else who wants to jump in, I mean, really think about this concept. You were saying that halal was mentioned 50 times in the Quran, right? And so
50.
50. Okay, so taken from that, and then AI has to figure out what would be considered just think about that. And I just also have to think about the different, how the AI was trained
Mhm. Good question.
and what sources it was coming from. I could see it coming from being trained from a lot of areas that there's no mention of the Quran. There's
Yeah,
no mention of what is halal.
exactly. Wonderful questions. Go
And
ahead.
and I was going to say, Farah, do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, excellent question. I was wondering about that because sometimes I am trying to use AI systems,
Mhm.
how he or she is answering my question. Usually he is using some articles
Mhm.
or some Islamic research which he has in the websites, from the websites. I think first of all, it is not enough. Like I said
Mhm.
before, it is not in the Quran, but he is using traditional Islamic research. It might be questionable for me. So I was thinking about that. Maybe we have to study together, which religion study departments and
Mhm.
technology departments to figure out this, because I have no information. I have no idea about how the AI system is working. I don't know the technological sides. Sometimes I am giving him some feedback. You are saying from these articles and it is not exact result. How can you say this for me? And
Mhm.
all the time he apologized for from me using this information. So maybe it might be a methodology, but I think for more to go forward,
Mhm.
we have to work together. How can we figure out this? It is a big questions, and also because of my lack of technological information, I can't answer this question exact way. But my real solution is study together, multidisciplinary studying. It is so important to figure out or fix these systems.
And you're doing so you're doing content analysis based on what you're getting back from the AI, correct?
Mhm. Yeah, I just used some concepts for this research. These are some examples. We can make white this area to working on it. We will see. I just tried some things and I want to share with you my information, my understanding in this area. So because my PhD thesis was about and also concept. But I just studying on because it was maybe 10 years ago. So I just study on the concept of Quran, but now I really want to go for a forward by doing this kind of studying. I don't just studying on AI or translator system, and also I am working on movies, TV series, because they are using this kind of concepts. Maybe there is an American TV series Rami, the character, the actor, actually it's based on real story.
Mm.
He is Egyptian, but he grew up in America. How he is struggle with both culture and cultural effect. These are also important for me. So I'm doing different kind of studying now after being
Yeah.
it, so it's important for me.
And
Dr.
our
Merve,
oh,
go
go ahead, Farah.
my camera is off, so
Okay.
yeah. Dr. Merve, salam alaikum. Thank you. I appreciate your input and your sharing your perspective on that. So I am part of global AI as well as government one here in the US. So basically, I echo what you said. It's again what Kay said as well. So it's based on the input. You cannot have anything on the output if the sample is not there. So I just want to go back to for the summer. The summer means the same thing for everyone. It just the issue is which part of the hemisphere you are. So are you in the June, July, August versus during January, February? In terms of the issue and the struggle that we're dealing right now across a lot of government entity here in the US, which I am part of this coalition, is the translation. We translate meaning. We do not translate word for word. And AI and the software used and the LLM, they're mainly in terms of translating the word as is, as you point in one of your slides, what halal means versus, again, from where the information was pulled. So that's what has been going on. And Rami Malik, yes, I'm a big fan of his work and I know him. So yes, indeed, he is basically kind of as with anyone who comes from a multicultural background, it's difficult to fit from one culture to another one. So how can we manage both of them? Happy to do more follow-up. I do a lot of work with Kay as well and Chris, so more than happy to share what we do on the AI term and anything that has to do with AI. Thank you. Shukran.
Thank you, Afan. First of all, it's a good question. I try to figure out these things, so I focused on this issue. Like I said, maybe I can give example in different way. For example, I am asking to my student, what is your favorite season? They are answering that question. My favorite season is winter. When we look at these sentences, everybody understood these sentences as a correct. My favorite season is winter, but the city which I live, we have no snowy days. But we look at the Indianapolis, now I am living in here, we have really cold and snowy days. Yes, we understand the same things, but for me, the winter is without snowy day. For the living people living in United States, maybe it's mean snowy day. So these are different. So I try to when I start to read Quran, we understood differently. So how can we manage this issue? Actually, to be honest, I don't know, because I think this is very exciting things. Because if you believe the God created you, we are not robot, we are human being. So I think different understanding is kind of richness. So we can understand different way when we read the Quran or Bible or another holy books. This is kind of richness. But how can we manage this issue? I think we have to respect our perspective, our understanding. I think the main idea is here. For example, in the Quran says, one of the verses, if somebody steal anything, cut his hands. Some people says, okay, we have to cut this thief's hand. But some people understand this is not a real thing. This is actually is abstract. You have to cut off his way to steal anything. So these are totally different. In one example, you have to cut in certain way, but in other, when we look at the other example, it is look like how can I say, not real. It is symbolic. So I don't know. We are human being, even if we read same text, we cannot understand same. So we have to manage maybe using our economy, our social issue, and respect our lives. So I'm really interested in understand what is the differences between people or between time to time. I just try to understand the differences, not what the Quran say exactly. I'm not interested in because actually I don't know.
Dr. Merve, I will add just the interpretation comes at the human level. Tafsir al-Quran, there's different interpretation depending on who's basically interpreting the verses to fit their need. So without even talking about technology and the AI, you have the interpretation of the same verses two people are reading and everyone will interpret. So this is the basis. And based on how I interpret, this is what I'm plugging in the LLM. That for K, when she's using AI, she will get my version of this description of the verses. Versus when you are using it, if you add your information, you will have yours. So it comes down, AI, we created AI, we add the information. So it comes down to the human interpretation of these verses and how we see it fit for us. Tafsir al-Quran, there's a lot of Sahaba and a lot of scholars that have a lot of books, and then you can have the interpretation slightly and sometimes hugely different between one book and another one, which add more layer of difficulty to even understand, and for anyone using technology together, which is accurate. So I just want to add this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, you are right. When we look at the past in early understanding, they are so different each other between Sahabe, which are Prophet Muhammad's friends. They understand in different ways. Some of them understand in a symbolic way, some of them understand in an exact way. So we just using this information and we are choosing which one is better for us. I'm seeing in Muslim generation, Muslim people, between the Muslim people. So you can manage your way looking the information. Like before I said, I'm interested in how the differences show up today. I'm just interested in this issue because the another one is really complicated, but I don't have any answer this question. I'm sorry.
No, one of the things that really struck me is how much heteroglyphia you're talking about, where there's just different voices when it comes to the definition. So one of the things I'm looking at in my research is doing some linguistic analysis to look at how different colleges are looking at equity, diversity, and inclusive language, and looking at the variation, the band of meaning between, like, if it's really thick, or are they all agreeing on one definition? So that might be something else as you're gathering all of this information and text. That might be another methodology you might want to look at, is some of the linguistic analysis pieces to sort of sketch out that S-curve, as far as depending on how broad of resources you have, especially if you decide that you want to break this out in an even further data set where you get a lot more examples of how people are using it, and then running an analysis on that. So that's definitely something that I found really interesting about your presentation, is looking at that how you're trying to make common meaning. And it's interesting that folks are either picking and choosing, or definitely from the business world is just using it as an adjective, where they're just, it definitely doesn't necessarily apply to what they're selling. It's just like, hey, this is an extra word that I see, and I'm trying to attract this market. And so I'm going to go ahead and just randomly toss this word in. And which is what it seems like, and definitely as AI starts generating its own meanings of terms based on an overall tapestry of its training sources that Kay was talking about, that's also going to be influencing and be more and more important to look at, is especially as people start relying on more, is like, how are they training their data and what are they using it off of? Because, you know, an AI based off of Twitter or, you know, Instagram or Discord or any other model,
Reddit.
even Reddit, you know, subreddits, or even within, you know, a given company's, you know, IM messaging platform, are all going to result in different results. So it's kind of interesting to see, you know, this is almost like a real life application of quantum storytelling going awry, where everyone has their own perspectives and everyone's doing their own thing, and everyone believes that, you know, everything, well, I shouldn't say everyone and everything, but, you know, has this belief structure in it, where you're looking at, like, how much do you trust that data? How much do you trust that source? And if you believe everything that the internet says, you're bound for trouble.
Thank you for contribution. And also, when I look at this scene, I'm seeing that I think there is not changing because the people are still same in the past and future. There are just tools changed from the past to today. So when we look at the Prophet Muhammad's time, the people understood different way. Now we are understood different way, and also some people using this understanding for their willing, like trade, like to sell their food to other people.
Mhm.
It was same. Just the tools changed, but the idea, the people still same. They understand what did they bring in their background, their past, their characteristic. So I just want to, I also focus this issue. So still same. When we, for example, I'm using ChatGPT sometimes. It is he or it is answering my questions, using my questions, my answering, my say. If you manage the AI correctly, you can get good information.
Yeah.
But if you just ask questions, he gives nothing. Maybe the AI systems give me this answer, but if you ask for him this question, he will give you another answering using your backgrounds. Like
Yeah.
at the moment's time.
All the AI, they learn you and the kind of questions that you ask. So there's a training that happens. The more you use it, they're learning kind of the way how you ask the questions, and so it becomes tailored in a sense.
Of course.
Yeah.
For example, I am asking question and I am not satisfied he's answering. So I question again. If you are satisfied, it's gonna be finished in here. So it is related with you actually, with your connection with AI. So I think the important one.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking it can be scary. I'm just thinking about scary about the people who are training, who are actually training it for us at this point now. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of concepts out there that I don't want certain people training our knowledge, our knowledge base,
Yeah, I'm more optimistic about AI system because whenever something new in the past, the people are a little bit scared of, but I think we are wonderful creatures, so we can handle it. We can use for our opportunities this kind of systems. It's up to you. I think we can handle it in the past. I'm not scared, or I'm optimistic in AI systems, about AI systems. But this is my idea. We will see.
And I'm just thinking we're talking about the terms that you were researching. I'm like thinking about, oh, if we started doing that kind of research on different images, I'm like, oh, I wonder what we would end up with that. I mean, if you took those same words and put it into an image generator, I wonder what you would get. Oh gosh.
There is so many words like that. Yeah, so it's
Ah.
really interesting for me. How can people understand like that? So I am interested in anthropology for my studying. I started to read anthropology, and in here my supervisor is from anthropology department. So it is kind of exciting for me to understanding people approach to these words. How can they convert these words in that style for their willing opportunity, like selling their hotels, selling their food, using this word? It is for me, I don't care because I know how the word evolved this area, but for many people is so important. In here, especially, I am saying Muslim people, they are looking for halal food, checking the label. So it is okay. They are just put label. For me, I don't know. I'm
Yeah, yeah, it's like hashtag hello. Like you put hello love,
Yeah.
hashtag oh, you know, yes, I and if the AI is being trained on that, you know, how it's going to come back, or we're going to have to go, how do we untrain it? Or, you know, and I don't know if we can.
Just ask question. And then do not anything. Just really give ridiculous information sometimes. And I'm not, I can understand what's he doing. So I'm really careful to using AI system. We have to be careful. It is not exact information.
Mm.
Yeah.
And yeah, from the and while we veered from the translation part of it, like I said, we're seeing that there's no way we can just, you know, someone say, oh well, I just put it into Google Translate and it's fine. Like, no, we have to go back and we have to do that grammar. We have to go back and check the words. So while it's a help, it's far from perfect for translation for us for learning
Yeah.
design.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
no, thank you. Thank you for
I hope you understand my English. I was a little bit concerned about.
no
I'm
problem.
sorry for my grammar mistake or pronunciation.
You're just fine. Thank you.
I have already learned
No
speaking
problem.
English.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
No,
Thank
thank you. And
Okay.
and we're jumping to our last closing session. So goodbye. Thank you again.
Could
And
you
we'll
could you stop the recording, please?